Welcome back, guys. I'm just kind of overlooking my build area here. I'm slowly but surely trying to get this done. Basically cutting out this area here and use the materials I get from there to fill in this area here. And this is where my new factory is going to go. And then when Briarios decides on the design, the powerhouse will go basically here, and I'll just use this as my powerhouse for now until that gets done. Now, we've had a few updates to the mod pack. One thing is I did some mine tweaking in the 3 days I took off. The chopper from Gravitational Suite Reloaded now has a better, in my opinion, recipe. Use a diamond cutting saw blade, the chainsaw. I had to use an advanced RE battery because of the 100K EU it has, and being tier 2, that was the only battery that's close to 100K, which it is 100K. I would have preferred something that was more like 70 because this already has a 30K battery in it. That's what I chose to do for it. There was also the drill. I didn't do the iridium drills yet, but I did do the iron big drill, which I used a block cutting blade drill, a medium sodium battery because it's 270 EU. This is 200 plus the 30 that's in it is 230, so it's close. And then the diamond is 270K EU, but I went ahead and decided to use an energy crystal for it, which should up it to 1 million, but you can't do that. I would have had to have used like a lithium battery, probably would get me closer. Which actually, since this is only tier 2, I probably ought to change it and make it a lithium battery. Make it a medium lithium battery or something. But I used a diamond grinding head for that one. Again, these are just my recipes that I'm trying to make work. I didn't like the originals that were in here, and I wanted to try out these drills. Let's see, what else did we have that I changed? I took thermal science out of my pack. There was a couple things in it that were bugging me that there's nobody working on it, so they can't be fixed. We're working with it in Sky Factory 2, me and Junior, and we ran into needing destabilized redstone, and I was thinking about it after that with me having all of these machines that do these parts, it would actually make more sense if I just changed out all the recipes in the regular machines to use these type of recipes than to make machines that make the counterparts to these for this series and just use it over there. So that's what I decided to do. Now, the one issue with that is that now Endermen are going to be moving my freaking dirt blocks around again. But I got these lanterns made and wired up, so everything from there to down at the end of this strip right here, there will be no mob spawn within a 32 block radius of each one of these poles. So that'll help a little bit with at least keeping this area neat and tidy. I'll have to tidy up other things. I built an assembler, but I haven't wired it yet from IE. I got one of these on the server. If anybody wants to see how it works, you can check out the last server video. I play around with it a little bit. I made up a whole bunch of industrial TNT. I got 5 stacks, almost 6 stacks to use inside of there. And I also put together this pain in the butt. This is the crop harvester. Now, one major thing I don't agree with this is if you look at the power, it says 32 EU a tick, but it uses a freaking energy flow circuit. That's crazy. It also uses an HV machine haul, but it's still going to be the regular crop harvesters, just using the recipe or stuff for building it. It doesn't change it to a Gregtech block. It is still a low voltage IC2 crop harvester. But I had to make HV robotic arms, piston, sensor, conveyor module, 2 stainless steel scythe blades, and HV machine haul. And I'm going to take that and put it in a field out there to harvest either wheat or sugarcane. I'm not sure yet which, for my bio process. I've been working on getting more copper done so I can get a forestry farm put in. And I've been cooking stone like crazy because of the factory out there needing a bunch of it. Now, the other changes that have been made, IHL updated twice, I do believe. And I haven't been able to put those updates in because I wanted to get the Gregtech update in that corresponded with it because of the sulfide array I have up there. That was deleted in one of the 2 IHLs. The other thing that changed was the processing for the rubber tree sap. Took out the polyethylene. This here has been taken out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and process a little bit of sap here so we can see exactly what we get out of it now, because I'm not even sure exactly what it is that it's going to produce now. But we'll let that run. The other thing, like I said, was this here has been changed. I'm not sure exactly how it's been changed. I don't know if it's just straight moved over, if this stuff is going to work or not. Nitrogen and oxygen that way. Or nitrogen and oxygen that way. So that one still works. All right. So now nitrogen dioxide has to be put into a cell, which is normal. And then the cell with water makes nitric acid with oxygen, but apparently we don't have a texture for that gas at the moment. I'll have to tell Bloody about that. So then the nitric acid will come in here with either the purified Chaco or the purified pentadonite, and that'll make this tiny pile of platinum group metal sludge from Gregtech now, which will make the regular stuff, which will get centrifuged into all of this stuff just like it did before. So it's basically just crossed over. Nothing has really changed to it. So nothing should have broken this array. So let's go ahead. I got a little bit in here and run this through and see how it works. Make sure everything works proper here. I'm hoping that this stuff will change over, because this is still the IHL. I'm hoping that it'll unify into the Gregtech ones, or at least be able to be used, because see, right now it's not changed over. Because I do not like going into creative. I don't want to have to go into creative to change this over. And it's not working, and it's not processing. So I may have to back up to the other IHL for just a minute. There's the nitric acid, and it's not going in here for some reason like it should. So I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. Let's check this thing out here. Getting wood pulp, sticky resin, raw rubber, and sugar, when before we were getting rubber pulp. We were actually getting this rubber. So now we're going to get this, so we'll have to mix it with the sulfur to get the rubber like we were before in the chemical reactor. And it's taken out the other one completely. That's about the only major changes that I know of for IHL. Now for the Gregtech ones, these recipes were added, but as you see, something's still a little warped. I gotta check into. First thing on the change log is the chainsaw now has a timber function. I'm sure that's not this chainsaw, because this is IC2, but just to make sure, we'll check it. Come out here and pop a block out of this big old spruce tree. And yeah, as I said, this chainsaw will not do it. But if you make any of the Gregtech chainsaws, they will. And you've got 3 flavors of them. This is basically how they're made. This is the LV version. And then you just do this for your plates. Whatever flavor it is goes right here. And then you got steel plates and steel rings for the rest of it. The only reason why I don't use those is because they when they get to really, really low durability, when they actually get to 0, they will break and you'll lose them completely. You got to use them down to almost nothing and then disassemble them. When you disassemble them, you will get a portion of the material back that you created it with, depending on the disassembler that you are using. Depends on how much of that power you're actually going to get back, or material you're going to get back. I think you get like 80% or something like that if you use a HV disassembler. My issue with that is the tip should break. The chain for the chainsaw should break. Maybe the battery should die. Things like that, but that should be more like how IE does it, immersive engineering. In my opinion, we played around with them a little bit on the server. You basically put your drill in here and you put it right here, and it shows the drill bit and any attachments that you've made for it or upgrades. And you just pull the drill head out and you put in a new drill head. Now, in my opinion, they break way too freaking quick, which means that you're going to be using up a bunch of iron to be making drill heads if you use it. But if you haven't noticed, that's kind of what IE is an iron sink. It uses iron for everything. So it kind of makes sense. Rebalanced oil and fuel burn values to fit new processing. So again, I'm not sure what the old values were, but it looks like oil will burn different in semi-fluid boiler is 1600. Not real sure what it was before, but it's up to that now. That is the semi-fluid is the bronze boilers or steel boiler. The large boilers are semi-fluid. It's the only semi-fluids we have now. And then let's see, plant oil, fish oil. Let's look up fuel. Now, I don't know if he changed the nitro diesel or not. But let's see, regular fuel is 128,000 EU from it, and a diesel generator. So anybody that knows what those burn values were before can let me know, because like I said, I don't know what they used to be, but that's what they are now. Fixed carbon dioxide elements. I'm not sure what was wrong with them that needed to be fixed. I'm wondering if this is this thing here. But I'm not sure. I don't think it is. Fix non-existing block textures. Well, you didn't fix them all because we got this one here. Screwdriver now lowers the output stack size. So let's see. Screwdriver. Used to be that if you missed something, you would have to go all the way back around. So like that is inverted. If I wanted to go back, I could just shift and it should take me back one. Ready to work. See, it's not doing it. Not ready to work. normal, inverted. See, it's not going back. It's supposed to be shift click to go back. So is that supposed to be for, like, I don't think you can do it on pipes. Stack size, I'm trying to think. Conveyor? Can you change that on a conveyor? Let's see. No, doesn't do it on a conveyor either. I ain't real sure what that's supposed to be, or if he fixed it but didn't fix it, or what, but it ain't working. Fix quantum chest losing items in certain actions. I haven't made one of them yet, so I didn't know we were losing anything. Fixed automation of input filter. So that I might kind of want to look at, because I do have one over here. Let's see. I have a type filter, which doesn't look like anything's really changed with it, unless somebody had said that the redstone thing wasn't working with it before. Maybe that's what he had fixed. Not real sure. I guess I don't have the regular item filter. I just have the type filter. So that's all I really ever needed. Fixed battery stacking and battery buffer by automation. That is a great fix. Used to be whenever I dropped these two in, they would be stacked like this. And see, they're still doing it when you shift click them. It may not do it when you insert them some other way, but it shouldn't do. They shouldn't stack in here at all. They shouldn't stack here either. You know, in my opinion, batteries should not stack. They should be just like the heat vents, that they should be single things, so they won't stack in inventories, because they won't work if they're stacked. So he didn't fix that as well as I was hoping. Added new multi-block GUIs. I don't know if that means he changed the ones we already have, or if he made new ones for new multi-blocks. The implosion compressor looks the same. Oh, he added the picture so you can see how it's supposed to be built. That's cool. As that's something that we hadn't had yet. That's the only new multi-block I have. These all already had it. Let's see. But there is an oil drilling rig and advanced miner that I haven't gotten into yet, and the distillation tower that should have a GUI change. Let's see. Shorten the HP turbine GUI name to fit in the GUI. That would be the high pressure turbine. That would be one of the large turbines, which again I haven't made yet, because they're supposed to be doing some revamping on the numbers for the steam turbines. I guess the people think the efficiencies or outputs are off, and so they're supposed to be working on that. Added recycling for reinforced blocks. What reinforced blocks do we have? Reinforced cobbled dirt. I'm sure that is not what he's talking about. because that is chiseled. Reinforced. Okay, well, those we don't have, so this one. So chemical bath of a tungsten steel frame box with wet concrete will make a tungsten steel reinforced block, an iridium tungsten steel reinforced block, and a bronze plated reinforced block. So now we can recycle these in arc furnace or pulverizer to get the bronze back out of it. The iridium tungsten steel, we can either smelt it, macerate it, arc furnace, which will give you 1 iridium. Holy crap, that's not a very good recycle. If it's iridium tungsten steel, that thing is created with tungsten steel reinforced block and an iridium plate, and you only get 1 iridium ingot out of it. That's about crap. Now see, this one you actually get the tungsten steel and concrete. So I got to say something to him about that, because apparently that's not right. Let's see. Added recipe to make a sifter craftable with LV Tech. So this bad boy right here that I had to wait until I got to MV or HV to do. Supposedly you can now make with just HV material. Let's see here. Basic sifting machine needs item filters, which was the problem because you needed raw carbon mesh and zinc to make that. That's 32, and you can make that at 2 EU. And this is the carbon with palladium or whatever, only uses 5 EU a tick, so it can be done in low voltage. I'm guessing that he made that with like medium voltage recipe instead of low voltage. My memory is so crappy I can't remember when I did that one, what it was before this update. But I do know that I had to wait until I was at medium voltage or high voltage before I could make the sifter. So it is good that it's now able to be made earlier. Let's see. Tooltip did that one. Sifter added graphene, more alloy recipes. So let's see if this actually shows up when I put it in. Graphene dust, graphite dust. So let's see. Graphene will make wire, which is IV, and that's about it. How do we make this stuff? Assembler, graphite, silicon foil, and glue will make a tiny pile of graphene dust in the assembler. So that's a new wire that we didn't have before. And it looks like that's about all you can really make from it. I don't see an ingot form at all. It puts these in here, but they don't have recipes to make them. So it looks like these wires are it. And I don't see a coded version of them either. Huh. So does that mean we're going to get zapped if we touch these things? No idea. Let's see. Fixed chisel marble processing. Okay. If I could spell. Again. Dun, 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 dun. And see, I didn't even know Gregtech doesn't have a marble. Chisel has one. He didn't change anything for processing theirs, I don't think. Yeah, I don't see anything where he changed the blue power one. There is a red one, but I don't have that in here, so I'm not sure if that's the one he changed. Now, this one is different. I don't remember this recipe ever being in here before, where you could actually pulverize it down into marble dust so you could get magnesium and calcite out of marble. That is a good thing that's added. And it doesn't look like the blue power one has one. But you could do it this way. You could put the blue power marble in a chisel, change it over to chisel marble, and then do it that way. Now, if he did that, what about limestone? Because that was another one that needed to be changed. Where is this one here? Nope, we can't do it. See, I want a way of getting calcite out of it too, but we don't have that. But I'm guessing that's the one he's talking about. Fixed memory overflow, hopefully. If anything fluid related is buggy, please tell me. That I'll have to do some testing with to see if all of the fluid things run right like they did before. It doesn't really look like, if you look at my FPS, it is crap right now, and it was a lot better before. And I'm not really doing anything different than I normally do, but the chunk updates is a lot better. So I'm kind of confused on what is killing my FPS. I'm hoping that memory overflow was the chunk update issue I was having. But I got to figure out what the FPS issue is now, because that's going to make it really hard to do any videos where I'm actually moving around, because y'all are going to get a headache from all of this slow, laggy moving. And I'm going to get a headache from playing here with all this slow, laggy moving. And if you notice, like, if I come out here and look around like I did earlier, there were chunks that hadn't rendered in over there, which now they are. But you can see over there where stuff hasn't rendered in yet. And I haven't changed my view distance. Those things should be good and rendered in. Alright, now I can see them. So, not real sure if that's what caused it or not. I'll have to do some changing back of Gregtech and see if it changes that, makes it better, makes it worse, whatever. Let's see. Pumped Gregtech oil is now slowly decreasing, -1 liter every 1,000 cycles. That would be with the Gregtech oil pump thing. I call it an oil derrick, but that's not what it's called. I think it's called a drilling rig. Yeah, oil drilling rig. I haven't made this yet. I probably need to get that made and check it out. It basically doesn't do the oil from like Buildcraft, but it does oil that's trapped under bedrock. Use a scanner and stuff, and it'll tell you how much oil is in that chunk, and then you put that down and it'll drill it out for you. And then the last thing is the move sulfide oil processing from IHL to Gregtech. So that we already looked at. And my dog is losing his mind, and this is about the last update I have for you. And so I'll let y'all go, since it's about 37 minutes of me just standing around talking. There's a update for Gregtech 6, so I'll be trying to put that episode out either today or tomorrow to show you guys all what has changed in 6. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have anything that you want to add, leave it in the comments, or any questions, let me know. Since I've been gone for 3 days, I might actually do a live stream tonight if I can figure out this FPS before then. So if so, I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you next time. Take it easy.